Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Happy Thursday. It's May 16th, 2024. I hope you're doing well. Let's see what we got today. Let's just see what we got. Get it going right away. I don't think I have anything to say, but I definitely encourage you to check out my video yesterday, my post yesterday, if you haven't already, because I thought it was pretty interesting. All right, let's see what we got. Nine of Pentacles, one of my favorite cards. Single, self-sufficient, independent, and secure. Nine of Pentacles. I love it to start. Oh, okay. My favorite queen. My favorite card, my favorite queen, more or less. Of course, I also love the Queen of Cups. Who doesn't love love, for the most part? But the energy of the Queen of Wands is one that I do relate to very much. Even the nature of my love, I think, is quite energetic in essence and transformative, if I do say so myself, and I do. But we got some Nine of Wands energy looking over here. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna get one on this Queen of Wands because how I relate to the Queen of Wands is pure, right? But the energy I'm pulling off of this card and then this one, like I'm feeling compelled to put him over here. And she has a little bit of a strange look on her face looking towards this Nine of Pentacles. Like these might be two different energies. I sense some irritation or agitation in this Queen of Wands that I don't relate to. When I say I relate to this energy, what I'm feeling from the frequency is not what I relate to of it. Let's see here. Oh, well, okay. That's that on that. So we're just gonna move the party on over. Put this guy here who's looking like he's agitated and mentally imbalanced about something, regretful, or there's some energy here that he's looking back at with some, I would say, disdain. That's really the only word that's sticking out to me right now. But by definition, that's not necessarily the energy of that card, but that's what I feel. So this feels like some type of envy and I don't even know what that is. Let's keep going. I'm gonna let the Ace of Swords rock. I ain't even gonna see what's under. That's all the confirmation I needed. Let's see where this energy goes. Star. There's something here. It feels so thick. Star card. All right. So what's on the bottom? Okay. So that. So this either could be the Ace of Swords kind of confirmed exactly what I said, that this may be two different energies, but it also gives that someone, it's like somebody wants to be okay. Somebody's desire is to be the center of attention, like the star. But the center of attention here is the Nine of Pentacles. So this could be the activation or even actualization with wand energy, meaning some energy behind it, some kinetic energy of jealousy and envy for someone's position of influence, affluence, but more so their confidence and security. Someone feels threatened by that in some way, shape, or form, and it's like, it's almost ridiculous when you look at the energy of the cards because you got the Queen of Wands, who is the Queen of Wands, and then you got the Nine of Pentacles, which doesn't necessarily have a title, although it's referred to as the pre-empress. But okay, so that's the objectivity here, is seeing the potential of someone's growth, seeing the value of someone's potential to become established beyond what they are already secure and being on their own. It's like somebody energy, I'm gonna get one on him too, just to kind of balance the scale. But it's like, yeah, and here's the advancement. So the disdain is for what someone may have the potential to advance into, and how that may be effective or reflective against someone or someones that for some reason have a fixation about that potential. But it's like here with the Star card, this is either what somebody's ambitions are as the Queen of Wands, to be the center of attention, but somebody idealizes it. I'm getting more of somebody idolizes it, but for in the superficial sense, as like almost celebrity, because if it was that they were really fixated on the star in its purest form, then her attention wouldn't be over here as to who else is doing what and having what. It would be more centrically focused on self and what this energy truly is, which is just working in your own, your own creativity, following your own destined path, and expressing your unique energy as unapologetically as you would expect a Queen of Wands would. But as I said, there's a certain, there's something that's distracting someone from feeling like they can occupy this. Oh, I hear imposter syndrome again. Like that's what it is, that there's something that's missing here. It's like somebody has on all the robes and the garments and may even have garnered the attention and the allure and attraction of the Queen of Wands. But as I said, it's not authentic. It's been procured by some either fabricated or synthetic measures, practices, I would even say. Oh, okay, Queen of Wands energy, it could absolutely be some magic or something like that, or some mystical practices as well. But there's that somebody has more or less asserted themselves to this position, and the threat to that is someone or someones that authentically occupy that space with premium security. You know, self-sufficient, don't need anything else, don't even need the validation or the approval. They just are what they are. And so that would cause some contention, you know, as it does when you're not operating in your purest form. You feel threatened, you know, or you feel like you are an imposter when the real thing shows up, when the real thing is present, you know, and you've been just playing the role. It does cause a threat. It does pose a threat, not just to the person that knows they're an imposter or that they don't really possess what it is they're projecting, but also to the position that they have established for themselves that maybe others might actually see, compare and contrast the difference, and you know, of the authentic energy of even as the pre-empress would appear to be, and someone that just is playing a role or faking it to make it. There's that Chariot card. Yeah, somebody's feels that their forward movement, their own personal success is in jeopardy here. What's your problem? Nine of Wands. Oh, what was that? Three of Cups. That they got caught up in the counterfeits. That's what that is. They spread their energy too thin on too many versions of the so-called Queen of Wands, posing as the pre-empress, or even perhaps posing as the empress or the star, and it's caused more drama than it's worth. Exactly. Oh God, this is funny. And now they're aggravated. Like they would love to, with all their energy, be able to go reclaim, you know, some advantage of some sort, or to redo what was, I don't know. There's some aggression of entitlement and like a charge here, a rage. That's what it is, a rage here against. But it's an entitled rage, because it's like, especially with the Nine of Wands, because it's like this person isn't willing to take accountability for how they misstepped. It's given someone that wants to blame everything and everyone else for their disadvantage but their self, or at least to avenge it in some way, you know, but it doesn't feel like a fair charge. Like it's not like somebody wants to go back and make something right. No, it's like somebody wants to go back and like conquer something, or insert themselves, or intrude, or invade a space that they may or may not be welcome in. That's what is given to me, because this feels like almost somebody being shut out of this Nine of Pentacles energy, and that's why he's feeling some type of way, because he would want access to a garden such as this, or an energy such as this. But remember, the Three of Cups is where where he may have spent his time with a whole lot of nothing. That was a good time while it lasted, and as it was happening, could have been someone that had multiple options, different girls or whatever the fancy may have been that were pleasureful at that moment. I'm sure that's not a word, but I like it. But like I said, it's literally like somebody that spread themselves, their wand energy too thin. And in hindsight, it doesn't feel like it was really worth the energy. So now it's like they mad about something, but what you mad at? I forgot to look. The Queen of Swords. Because someone is quite objective about their personal identity. Yeah, this is connected to the Queen of Pentacles. They're objective enough about their personal identity as the Queen of Swords can be, that you're not just getting through with any old BS. It's like, I'll entertain it, I'll consider it, but ultimately, if it's not real, it's not welcome. That's the Queen of Swords. So somebody that wouldn't even be in a position to be accountable for their own actions wouldn't stand a chance, more or less wanting to be welcomed into the court or courtship, get into it, of the Queen of Swords. Like, you gotta be able to match that frequency of truth. And the Knight of Swords is not a match. Not in this regard. It's just not in any regard. It's not. It's like somebody that has hell of excuses, and the thing is, it's like, it's still a sword. So their reasoning may be true. It may be valid, right? But again, in connection with this Nine of Wands, it's like somebody that would have all the answers as to why they're in the position of despair that they're in, but would give very little inflection to how they contributed to those circumstances or even created it. If they give any at all, they would just give just enough of the truth to make it make sense, but not being completely transparent as that Ace of Swords is, as to every aspect of their co-creativity and whatever this present circumstance is. So it's like, coming to a Queen of Swords, that's where the sword would be drawn, because a Queen of Swords is kind of no nonsense. Like, she's like a human lie detector. So it's like, if you're only going to give half truths, even if it's just energetically pronounced, which it wouldn't be, it would be intellectual more than anything. But even if it was just a matter of, that don't feel right, or that don't sound right, something don't add up about that, that would be enough for a Queen of Swords energy to just want to be disconnected altogether, because there's no founded interest in whatever it is being presented for an energy such as this, that would pride themselves on being honorable, upright, and truthful in how they present themselves. That open hand is more or less the expectation for reciprocation. So that would only intensify the rage of such as the Knight of Swords to come so feverishly with this presentation and then perhaps be denied or declined. That just compounds to the energetic imbalance here at this point, to feel even more what is that? The Nine of Wands. It actually can be more paranoia than anything. But I would say insecure. Let's say insecure. Yeah, because it's a lack of confidence here and passion. Because they know the truth of what, all these bones in their closet, so to speak. But there's only but so much they would really want to divulge on account of how it appears, or the projection of their character that it makes. But the truth is the truth, It is what it is. Yeah, Nine of Cups. Okay. So this is what was... So this is what's idolized, I feel, in terms of this masculine energy, like this wish fulfillment, contentment, like somebody completely having their fill with the Nine of Cups. And that also, I should probably move it here. Yeah, exposure. This is what I should probably move that here. I feel like I should. Because this is actually what I have been connecting to as self-esteem, like supreme self-esteem at best. It could also be overindulgence, back to that Three of Cups, at its worst. But it also could speak to how someone, whatever someone measures themselves by to establish esteem or to be fulfilled. It may, or it doesn't necessarily mean that it's absolutely pure in this regard, especially if it is attached to this energy here. But that's what's been debilitated, is whatever it was, it's been depleted at this point. And all that's been exposed, or all that's being exposed, is the truth of which someone obviously has some invested interest to either deny or I would say to remix, to change a narrative in some way, shape, or form. For the purposes of at least appearing to be well put together. Yeah, something about that here, where somebody would, same here, same energy, where someone knows how to put on the facade. Someone knows how to do that here as well, to appear to be someone that's highly esteemed, well established, balanced and in control. But at the core, someone is rageful, maybe even vengeful, and very imbalanced. And that's what's unraveling. That's what's being exposed in the light. And that's also what's being produced with this source energy, because you're only going to produce the truth of the core of you. Eventually your surroundings will begin to express those seeds, that harvest from whatever you've sown, same as here. Okay, so both, there's a central threat here to two people that are feeling like the jig is up or is about to be up in some way, shape, or form. Let me get one more here in the middle. protection. Yeah, there's something at stake here to be protected. It could be others' opinions on this on account of this exposure, judgment on account of this exposure. What else would that wand energy represent? Loss of, I would say like support, because this is like the bottom falling out, so to speak, where what you used to find as a foundation of support, even if it's a matter of people that like agree or believe in whatever it is you're selling in spirit and in truth. And if that's what someone measured themselves by here as the Nine of Cups, and that begins to falter, then that is what incites the rage here. Because if that's the prime means of measurement, like who F's with you and who doesn't, like clout type of energy, then if you have, if there's no other foundation otherwise, then it would be a natural reaction to want to go and try to reclaim or reestablish that by any means necessary, so to speak. But here is where the source of this should be, the idolized source here, the Star card. It's like, if someone's willing to get through all of that to get to the Star, then so be it. They'd be a better man for it. But it seems like somebody's got to get through their ego first, through their pride, and then perhaps after all of that, to the true source of their vitality, which would ultimately be healing. Let's see what's on the bottom. Yeah, like somebody, what is the term that I heard earlier? Oh, I was hearing micromanage, but I was really seeing the Four of Pentacles in that regard. But it could be sort of like that here too, because it's having very little to manage, but perhaps maybe having a lot to do with it. In this regard. And it's a bit energetically imbalanced here. Like there may not be enough to go around for what someone is trying to establish. And also, let's just get into it, practically speaking, as I said, when it comes to threat, they're both idolizing this pentacle energy. So it literally could be a matter of this exposure making a hit on someone's credibility and their influence, and also, their actual productivity and profitability being impacted a great deal. This could definitely be like influencer type of energy, where people create these platforms, these personas, they build a community around what more or less is fabricated, and it becomes a livelihood, it becomes a source of living, of income, of, it just ultimately becomes a way of life, so much so that you almost believe what you've established, to the point of this entitlement here. It's like you feel a certain ownership of what you've created for yourself, regardless of the the authenticity of it all. It's yours, you know, it's like it's mine, mine, mine type of energy. And it puts you in a comfortable position, puts you in the limelight, whatever. Like it could be something of that we're talking about here, which is, you know, quite popular, of an effect that's happening where people are either having to more or less come clean about what's what in their lives, and on account do take a hit for it in some way, shape, or form. Maybe lose viewers, you lose supporters, subscribers, content, money, you know, sponsors, all of that. Okay, so it's like, it's really, okay. So someone literally can't afford to be exposed because everything that they've created has been built on a lie. I'm trying to be diplomatic about it, but something's been built on a lie. And rather than them submit to the truth of it all here with the star card and then be realigned with whatever is authentic and, you know, on that destined path, of course it's harder to really surrender to that because there's so much more at stake. But see, it's not so much just a lie, because we can't forget about this this Nine of Pentacles in the middle. Well, it could still be universally that, because that could even just be representative of the truth as that Ace of Swords. It's kind of sweeping through the realm now, whether it's embodied by authentic people, you know, like real stars that have been surrendered to healing and that are just kind of operating in the frequency that they're destined to do so, or just the reality of truth itself materializing now to the point where if you're not operating in your function of that, you don't really have as much of a place anymore. You know, like that's just like the universal response to lies. I don't know. To imbalance, I guess, because it causes imbalance. That makes sense. Okay. Ooh. Oh, shit. I didn't mean for that to happen. Shoot, I don't remember which one was first. Was it this one or this one? That fast, I forgot. Damn it. I can't remember. I think it was like this though. I hope so. When I run it back, I hope I'm right. So we got the Six of Wands and then now Knight of Cups. So this is, to me, let's see. Ooh, the King of Wands. So is that this? Okay. So this is, damn, he couldn't even make it out on the board, huh? So this has been so somebody more or less has been parading around as if they are the King of Wands. So now we're looking at the counterpart of this energy here, which I'm like, damn, they couldn't even be that off the top. I'm going to figure out why that is in a second. But this is the Six of Wands, like finally kind of meeting, I just heard meeting his maker. meeting his fate, and it's not looking good with the reverse Knight of Cups, because it's something about like somebody under the Seven of Wands too. It's like somebody meeting all of the energy that they misled in this reverse Nine of Cups energy. The Knight of Cups is already a bit of a finesser, a little seductive in essence. Ooh. So the Star, and this is reversed. It's like somebody's cup, the essence of them is tainted by way of mismanagement of their wand, which is also what the disdain may be stemming from here at this Nine of Wands. Maybe a little bit too much fun, back to that Three of Cups. And now it's like somebody's reckoning again with the position that they have carved out for themselves on account of their reckless behavior. But at one point in time, they thought they were winning with the Six of Wands, and then it's like but it doesn't seem like that now with the Knight of Cups here. Because what is idolized as it is with the Queen of Wands is this King of Wands status. To be, justifiably like, this is like the lover man of all the queen, not lover man, but like not of the queens either, of the kings, but this is like, the hot boy of the kings, the one that everybody wants of all the kings. Did I say queens again? That maybe that's the thing, I don't know. It is the Knight of Cups in reverse. That could be the facade. And all these wands. Okay, so somebody's... But just lump that all in with the entire energy of facade and falsehood, because it's just quite detailed, that it could be that somebody's sexuality is at threat to be exposed, or at least their sexual behaviors. Yeah, because they may have been one that presented themselves to be quite self-controlled. That's the King of Wands at his best. Even though he's quite tempting, and could be, would be the one that you would want to get into something with. If there was a choice in it. He's an attractive king. This is somebody that doesn't have a problem attracting potential mates, or, in whatever capacity that looks like at his highest. But he is masterful enough as the king to be responsible with his energy, not to spread himself thin, not to just be, connecting with anybody, being a bit more protective and selective about what he engages with, and in maybe literally as a secure energy, not operating out of insecurity, which we've already established to some degree. So yeah, somebody is afraid that exposure may extend to like I said before, the bones in their closet, maybe literally the bones that they don't want to be revealed. Now, it was all fine and good when they were indulging in the behavior or in the activities, but it somehow may tarnish their credibility to some degree for it to be exposed. It somehow puts a blemish on this persona, which, as I said, didn't even make it on the board. So it could be that somebody is even lying to themselves about their identity or their preference or the gravity of their sexual deviances, their lustful natures, their self-control, as it would be here with the Knight of Swords, making excuses and provisions for their own behaviors or their own circumstances, when no, baby, it's you. It's just you. You had to be in agreement with everything that you encountered. Nobody forced you, I hope. There's something here with the Seven of Wands where there is the projection of like a forced entry or having to protect yourself, but I don't get that sense here. I don't know about that. So this Nine of Cups looks quite pleased with themselves for the most part. It's just this threat of exposure and depreciation in their livelihood that is most alarming. Well, that's funny. And their power. But the thing is, they've been used to using their wand, like I said, like unproductively, but it's yielded a great deal of satisfaction and influence, though. It's yielded results, just not always the best results. So someone now may be, so someone's losing that influence here with the Knight of Cups in reverse and the Ace of Wands, or there's a fear of losing that influence where it's been most beneficial and perhaps even profitable. Let me get another one. Wow. Damn, what the heck? It's like what used to be empowering now is like pressure for someone. Oh, and this could have also been someone's primary source of self-esteem as well, like their kinetic energy or even their sexual energy, their sexual prowess, the things that they were able to do in the dark and also in the light, and maybe even a surge of like almost a what do you call it, like a high, or kind of like a high, but a rush. That's what it is. Something about a rush here on account of their conquest. Yeah. So it was like multi-layered because it was kind of like like orgasmic to some degree. Arousing. There it is. Arousing. I can never find that word when I need it. Go figure. It was kind of arousing to be able to kind of pull the wool over whomever's eyes they needed to benefit and profit. So that's what I'm saying. Like the Three of Cups speaks to, and even the Nine speaks to the satisfaction and the indulgence of being misleading and perhaps even misguiding in some ways in the spaces that there was favor to do so, or there was profit to do so. So that means if it was to the public or to friends or to whatever audience, more or less, was established to be I can't think of the word, to be misled, defrauded. Is that what we talk about here? There's another word, like defrauded might be a reflection of something like this. Seduced. Yeah, whatever audience stood to be seduced, whether it was one-on-one, one to many, one to a platform, one to an audience, one to the industry, because we got the star card here. Like whatever the seduction was the arousal based on the what was able to be accomplished, but also what was able to be accomplished, yes, but also what was able to be benefited. So it was just as much of an arousal as how these folks were able to kind of skim and scam. You know, the process itself was orgasmic, but also what was gleaned from the activity, the behavior, the plot, the scheme, the persona, the production, whatever the hell it was, that was all. So it just ultimately, I'm surprised the devil ain't out here, because it ultimately, yeah, like how how they were able to get over on whomever at will. So it felt like, to literally be able to change costumes or to keep one facade going, to the point where, like I said, they almost believed it, or one of them maybe almost kind of believed it to some degree, to feel like they own it, you know, or they're entitled to it and the rewards that came from it. Yeah, but now something's become a burden though. And it's either it's the pressure of what measures may have needed to be taken, or if someone feels incited to take, to protect this interest and investment and these assets, maybe perhaps literally, but also the pressure of what it means to lose it all. So just as it was kind of like double penetration, stop, spirit, please. Oh God. So just as it was like double pleasure on the scandalous end, it's like double whammy on the retribution end, like what it's going to cost to, you know, restore what's been procured here falsely at that. But the Five of Swords is the energy of someone that would be willing, or that feels like they have no choice, to do whatever is necessary to avoid this loss or to save face. But it ain't it's looking like way too much trouble to even try at this point, or like too much of the cat is out of the bag. Maybe literally on that too. Let me see. Yeah, like yeah, it's not that simple, even with someone's best efforts to try to reclaim their establishment, or to, to affirm, to reestablish a narrative, or to rewrite it all together. Like it doesn't seem like, it seems like it's not believable at this point to for there to be anything but the truth that's accepted. It's like nobody's really even interested in the rewritten script at this point. It's like they probably be better off just telling all at this point of what it really is, because people will be far more interested in the naked truth of it all, actually, than spinning these lies or trying to push a narrative that is just not even realistic, that there's no founding for at this point. So whether that is somebody literally trying to push those bones back into the closet and, wanting to have an answer for it, it literally could be, because this could even be like disgruntled lovers with the Knight of Cups, deranged lovers. This too, this is disgruntled, this might be deranged. Scorned lovers, that, and this Two of Swords, that are like, have no compassion, no sympathy, empathy, the love is gone. That's not what they're operating on anymore, and it's become pressure for someone. So what ultimately what was done in the dark is coming to light for someone, but in a very but in a way that is beyond their control at this point, and in a way that is very damaging, not just to their reputation, to their resources, their creativity, because this is how, this would be the power to manifest more if you could, but somebody's kind of depreciated this energy here, using it for things that were not pure. It's like somebody having a great deal of power, like a King of Wands or a Queen of Wands, where you just naturally light up a room, naturally seductive, alluring, charismatic, charming. You look good, because that's also an element of the King and Queen of Wands. You look good, you keep yourself well put together, you're fashionable, you have your own style about you that is intriguing. It's like you're an attractive force. People naturally gravitate towards you, naturally want to know you, or be acquainted, or may want to know more about you, perhaps even want to connect with you creatively, collaborate, want to date you, want to F you, like all those things is just like comes second nature to the Queen and King of Wands in the upright. And it's like somebody having all of that facility and knowing it, but using it to destroy rather than to build and create. So you've used the greatest essence of you to basically create a mess, and now that you are left to live in your creativity, you feel like almost entitled to have it a different way, because naturally, as you've experienced so far, you would absolutely have the power to alchemize or to just create a new narrative or a new experience altogether, except for the fact that what you created initially in the first place was so detrimental and problematic that, like I said, it's like you can't even get through all of the crap that you literally have authored and illustrated for yourself to get to what's real anymore, to get back to the true essence of you, to actually set some things in motion that would be, empowering and powerful and creative and long lasting, not at all problematic or detrimental. This is the pressure that someone has assumed for themselves. But instead of owning it, accepting it, asserting themselves in the positive direction to restore, and reform from it, it's like they want to insist on plowing through it to have it turn out a different way. And that is like a dead end on that right now. It's like somebody literally trying to turn on that charm and energy again to do what they did, but to do it in a sense to almost like reaffirm the narrative that they created. But it's like you can't push back against the truth in its most purest essence, in its purest form, where there may even be receipts for who you are and who you've been and what you've been doing, maybe how you've earned your money, what you truly are, creatively, sexually. And it's like, even if it's nobody's business, really what goes on behind closed doors, because someone kind of made it their business to defraud or to mislead others. Now it's become their problem, or I should say they made it their business, so now it's become their profit, that they would have to reap all that they have sown. So yeah, and they would want to just cross over into some peaceful, calmer existence, but is that what's happening? The Two of Cups, a renegotiation. I don't know about that. It seems like that's what they would want to have happen. To be, like I said, to almost reestablish this narrative of what they presented to themselves to be. But it has to be founded on the essence of truth and the essence of the spirit that they actually possess at this point. Remember, I said, like, you can only produce what is real, like what is the seed. You can't plant watermelons and expect to get pumpkins. It's only what comes through the ground, through the realm, what materializes in real form is only on account of who you really cultivate yourself to be. Let me see. I'm gonna get a couple more on the bottom because I know this is getting long, but I just want to just give me 3 more, and then I'll take the bottom and the top. There is this here? I want this here. Pardon me. Emperor. I must have mistakenly put that back. With the Two of Cups. He wants to control this, reestablish control over their contracts. Did I do it again? No, I didn't. And the High Priestess is on the bottom, which the Two of Cups is still showing, and the Death card. Damn. So we got the Emperor, the Eight of Pentacles, which is the work. And let's see one more with the High Priestess at the bottom. secrets. Missed opportunity. Yeah, so somebody's trying to work to regain their power and control over this situation. They want to reestablish, order and dominance over what they feel like they've lost, or the influence that they feel like they've lost, moreover. But it's like somebody's got to go back to the drawing board, to really gain power in a pure sense, not from the ways that and this is the hard part, because they're still looking back at these Three of Cups when the Spirit is offering the solution here with the Ace, with this Four of Cups energy here. And this is where the pressure just keeps compounding, because it's like, I got a way out for you. It's it might be a bitter pill to swallow, but swallow just freaking triggered me. It might be a bitter pill to, ooh. Nah, I ain't even gonna go there with that man of God today, because I love his daughter too much. But I felt a little energy on that when I said it. But yeah, maybe a hard pill to swallow, but I got the solution for you here. That healing, that acceptance of your own personal truth, not trying to cover it up in different storylines or reestablish a narrative or pawn it off on somebody else or deflect it as a falsehood, like really. And it's not so much about like exposing yourself to the world or to whomever, but it's about being real in your own skin. And you can't do both. You certainly can't be living a lie and then projecting a certain energy of truth to those that you then get to profit off of. That's imbalanced in the universal order. It's like, maybe you could live your lie in your closet, on your own, and nobody's harmed or disturbed by it. It's just you and your lie. Go for it. But then when you start to, when you tuck that lie away and actually present yourself to be the opposite or something extremely different than what and who you truly are, and then glean from that off of people's investment in you or agreement or support, and it doesn't even have to be materially, but people even just buying into what you're selling them verbally, communicatively. That's unfair. You're leading people on, you're leading people astray. And don't get me started that if it has, and I don't have any evidence for, the high priestess, and I was clear to continue, I was clear to reaffirm that was under the deck. So it could literally be something of a spiritual nature where someone is presenting themselves to be of some particular posture of influence or power, or of a supreme energetic frequency, even if we're not talking about religion, but to have a certain influence and make a frequency or a vibration of impression that they are nowhere near living in real life. Like even as primitively as an influencer that presents themselves to be some expert, like say in relationships or love, or, they establish themselves as some type of guru or expert in something that really behind closed doors, they're failing at miserably, or that the practices that they are selling and preaching are nothing of which they actually follow. That's even a discrepancy, in your own destiny, because you ain't designed to do that. No, the spirit, Nobody was organically, now I don't know about other entities and things of that nature that could come from uh, a source of deception, if that is a thing. But ain't nobody that is a derivative of source, even as we know it in our solar system, as the sun of light in the purest form and the most primitive expression of source. Certainly more extreme and more expanded beyond that if you submit to it. But let's just say of the light, and the sun came out. Nobody is a derivative of that force designed to deceive. It's contradictory. It doesn't even make any sense. So there's already going to be a conflict in what you produce in the physical form on account of the discrepancy at a spiritual foundation. And there's no amount of power, influence, access, affiliation, outright aggression, or nothing, charm, narrative, even hard work, blood, sweat, and tears that you can do to legitimize something that is just outright unlawful, especially spiritually so, but even perhaps naturally speaking. It doesn't align. It's not going to live in the earth right now. It's just not. So, yeah, exactly. Oh, and not Hermit card. Like, if you're not going to go within for that enlightenment to get what's real for you, to be you, you're doomed. You're like literally doomed. And you'll be sitting missing hella opportunities on account of trying to recreate what's been done before, thinking that this is the same old world as it was before. Even if it appears that people are still getting over, I promise you, they're just creating more pressure for themselves in the long run. I don't even really see evidence that people are able to get over with the same old tricks anymore. Even if they're lying to themselves about their satisfaction with themselves and with what they've created, the truth at its core is that is not sustainable anymore. You will hardly be able to sleep at night. What you gain on account of what you produce will not be lasting. It'll be very fleeting, and you'll need to re-up or revamp your whole what do you call it? Your whole method and motive again, your motivation all over again, just to get back to where you last left off, which is still feeling rejected and unsatisfied. It's not even worth it. And although it may be a daunting task to take that journey within and like really become more self-aware and accepting and healed and affirmed in who you've been designed to be, the truth of that matter, nobody else's truth but yours, is certainly a more gratifying journey than to just keep on hitting a brick wall at this point. But who am I? Exactly. Here's the self-love and establishment. That's personally being intentional about receiving it, accepting it, and asserting it for your own personal healing, going within to understand maybe even perhaps what has kept you from that frequency all this time. Being honest about that. That's the real work here, as the Eight of Pentacles is right up under this card. The work that matters, the work that really pays, and then having this enlightened experience with the the Hangman. I should have put that down too. Tripping. With the Hangman here to affirm your true identity so that you can operate in that frequency and that frequency alone. Good, bad, or indifferent, whatever it turns out you discover it to be, is the only thing sustainable anymore. So hop to it if you haven't already, and if you are, just stay in that frequency unapologetically. Don't let anybody veer you off that path of the expression of your I am, because that's the liberation here at the Star card. Everything that you can gain on account of that recognition is reward. And it's one that lasts a lifetime, if not lifetimes, if not preceding you beyond, for generations to come. Anything else, it's just, it's not what it was cracked up to be, even just a couple years ago, let alone from now until perhaps forever, at least for our lifetime. We're never going back to that again. So just, no matter what it may look like, for anybody that it matters to, we're never going back to that again. That wave has come and gone. And actually, if you ask me, stayed way too long. And I think universally, that is also true, which is why there's an acceleration on the new wave as it is now, because the old wave has done way too much damage for it to continue to persist, and the earth and the inhabitants thereof exist, at least healthily so. So that's it, that's all. I hope that made sense. It was kind of like a little bit of a roller coaster, but thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.